Welcome to my workshop. You are watching Casual DIY channel, and in today's video I'm going to be using these beautiful boards of American red elm that I've got in my workshop, and we're going to create two boards. Okay, one is a normal serving board and the other one is more like a tray. Okay, they both got interesting look to it, and I hope you're going to enjoy the project. I'm also going to provide you some free stencils for these two designs, so you can print them off and make a template and make those boards yourself. And yes, today's project is about using a template to create this type of project. Now I'm going to be using this 9mm MDF boards to create the template itself. It doesn't have to be MDF. If you've got plywood, anything like that, sheet material will be absolutely fine for this project. However, later on I'm going to show you a second way that I'm actually going to create these templates. You may find it actually quite interesting. So without further ado, first thing we need to do, I'm going to put the stencils together, as they are actually printing off on 2 sheets of A4 paper, as the boards needs to be a decent size. Obviously the files I'm going to provide to you are in SVG, so you can make them any size you really want. So let's get these sorted. So that's the design of my project. As you can see, the lines, and obviously the printer is not able to print to the edge, so I need to just cut off that excess there. And now with a bit of sellotape, I'm going to put both of the pieces of paper together. And there you go, our stencil is now put together. I'm just going to trim the paper a little bit so it's a bit smaller and easier to handle. Right, I've got the stencil. Now let's try to think about the layout of our project. I've got 3 boards, and obviously I want to have as least waste as possible. So I've got a split going through here. So let me have a look. Yeah, I've got enough space at the back, enough at the front. So I think I'm going to have this like so. I'm just going to mark it more or less over here so I know where to cut this piece. And the remaining part of this board is long enough that if I cut it in half, I will still be able to do the second design on. Let me just have a look how long it is with my fancy tape measure. That's 67 centimeter long. Okay, so that is plenty for this particular project. And check out my really fancy tape measure from CIGMAN, who are the sponsors of today's video. Just before Christmas, CIGMAN reached out to me and asked if they could sponsor one of my videos. I actually worked with them before, where I was reviewing and testing the laser level guides. Absolutely brilliant bits of kit, guys. And they decided to actually send me a small care package for Christmas as well. Really nice of them. I've got some stickers. I've got a mug and some other bits and pieces and a t-shirt. But amongst all of that, they actually sent me this brilliant bit of kit, the laser tape measure C1050. Absolutely brilliant piece of kit. I have to say, that is my favorite tape measure and the best I ever owned. Really nicely, well built, soft touch to the plastic, works beautifully, and it's accurate. I've tested that as well. But it's not only a normal tape measure, it actually comes with a distance laser. Absolutely brilliant tool if you need to measure larger rooms, for example. If you're doing construction work, anything like that, this is absolutely perfect. Check this out. There's plenty of really advanced options in this tiny little box. Let's switch it on. You can add, subtract the distances. You've got meters, feet, and everything in between. You've got the reader of how much battery there is, and obviously you do get a cable to charge this up, so no additional batteries with this. So how does it work? Well, the laser, as I said, at the front, you can see the dot on the wall, for example. Press the button and that will automatically measure the distance. You can change the settings from meters to inches to feet to measure the distance. For me, it came out 0.966 meters, so 966 centimeters. So easy to use. And as I said, it does have some really cool options, as now I can measure a different part of the room, subtract the difference or add it together. And obviously, simple thing, you can, for example, put it against the wall itself and you want to have the measurement of the length of the device. There's a button to actually indicate that if the laser needs to be measuring from the front of the machine or from the back of the machine. For example, if you put it against the wall to the next wall. Absolutely brilliant piece of kit, and it does have few more options. I'm not going to go into details in this video, but please do check out the link to this. It's down below in the description of this video, and thank you CIGMAN for sponsoring this video. However, let's get back to the project. Now, these boards have been milled before, and I've got straight and parallel faces and one straight edge. However, I just want to use my jointer just to make sure I've got a really nice, clean glue up edges for these, so the panels will come out absolutely perfectly. Now, if you're wondering how to mill rough lumber, I've got a separate video on that, and I'm going to leave a link to it down below in the description of this one. As the edges are jointed, it's now time to glue in our panels. I'm using Tide Bond Free as it's waterproof and safe with food. Just gonna wipe off the excess of the glue with a wet wipe. Okay, as the panels are now drying, what we need to do is to sort out a template that we're going to use for our router or any other tool you want to use to actually cut out the shape of our board. Okay, so as I said, I'm using 9mm MDF board to actually sort this out. What you can do, you can glue this template on with double-sided tape, some spray adhesive, or any other way you want to do this. However, what I found that works best for me is actually to use some trace paper, and that's exactly what I'm going to be using. And then with a pencil, I'm just going to go around the lines. Okay, I've traced the design, and there you go. Now what's left to do is to cut out our template. Okay, I'm going to be using my miter saw and then my bandsaw. And what's left to do at this point is to refine the shape with a sander or a rasp or whatever you have available in your workshop. And now I can finish it off with a bit of hand sanding. And there you go, the main shape of the first board is now ready. To be fair, the best is to actually have two of these, like this one. And if you want to have the version that I'm making, I'm going to cut out the middle as well. Okay, so if you want to have something like I'm going to be doing with the middle out, it's actually best to have both of these. The one with the full middle is just a little bit easier to tackle this, and one without the middle. However, I think I'll be just fine with one of these, and I'm now going to use my jigsaw to cut out the middle and then refine the shape of the inside circle with my sander. Right then, the glue has dried, both of the panels are now ready. I'm just going to give them a light sand to clean them up, grit 80 and 120, and we'll move on to the next stage. Okay, we've got our panel now ready and sorted. We've got our template just over here, and I'm going to be using double-sided tape to actually glue it onto the panel. Now, I'm looking at the pattern of the grain, and I'm just thinking where to put it, so you know, it doesn't have to be straight like that. It could be a little bit interesting under some sort of an angle. So I'm going to figure that out in a minute, and I'm going to glue on the pattern. Okay, now it's time for the bandsaw. I'm gonna remove as much material as I can, being very close to our template. However, obviously don't go too close so you don't damage the template. After that, we're gonna use a router with a router bit that does have a bearing, which will be riding against our template, allowing us to replicate the shape and the pattern of our template. And there we go, the main shape is now sorted. I still got the template attached to it because I want to add another feature to this board. However, you can finish that as is. Put a round over bit on your router and just round over all the edges on the board, and that will be a perfectly beautiful serving board. However, I want to have a slight tray inside of this, and that's why I've got the circle cut out in our template. I'm going to use my hand router to actually route out probably about, I don't know, 8mm depth from the middle of this board. Now, templates like these, the one I've done from MDF, or you can make it from plywood, for example, they're nice, simple, and fairly quick to make. However, after some uses with the double-sided tape, they will eventually get damaged. So, in my case, I'm actually going to show you a second way, a second option that I'm going to be using for my templates going forward. Check this out. Far more stable material for templates is a piece of acrylic. Okay, I've got 5mm board here, and that's what I'm going to be using to make my templates. Now, I do want them to be absolutely perfect, or as close as perfect that I want them to be, and for that I'm going to be using my CO2 laser from Stencils. Now, it's a very expensive tool and I don't recommend everybody to get it. However, these templates will be available on my Etsy store for purchase. Okay, so I'm going to be making designs, hopefully at least one a month, and adding them to my Etsy store so you can check out, and maybe you'll find a template or a design that you really like and want to purchase, and then you can make your boards or whatever templates I'm going to have for you there, so you can make it yourself. It's definitely far easier to use a template to make the cutouts rather than trying to draw yourself and spending a lot of time making templates from MDF or plywood or anything else. I think that's the way forward, at least in my case. So I'm just going to whack this piece of acrylic on the bed of my laser, and I'm going to press start on my laptop, and I'm going to have a perfect template. Okay, and the laser has done its job. In 2 minutes and 59 seconds, my template is ready. Perfect template for our serving board. Okay, let's put it to action and see how it performs. But now I'm going to repeat the process with my new fancy template. I'm just going to stick it onto our panel, then I'm going to take it to the bandsaw, after that to my router, and finally we're going to route out the middle with my handheld router. And there you go, the pattern works as a charm, beautifully cut out. And now with my router and a trace bit, I'm going to go around and remove some material from the middle, and obviously I'm going to use the inside template to guide me, so I'm going to have a nice circle inside. Obviously I'm going to do it in several passes, each time taking a little bit more material. And now finally we can gently remove the templates. There we go, that's our template off, and our beautiful serving board is cut out. Same thing with the acrylic one. Now with a round over bit, I'm going to go around the edges on the outside, at the back and at the front. Now the round over with the router, I'm only going to go right up to here where the pattern starts. The rest, I'm just going to break the edges. Otherwise, the pattern would disappear under the round over, and I definitely don't want that. I'm just going to break the edges by hand with a sandpaper. But as I said, everywhere else, I'm going to use the round over bit, and the same thing on the other board as well. And there you go, guys, the boards are now ready. I went with sanding up to 150 grit. I think that's plenty for this type of serving boards. So yeah, definitely they came out absolutely lovely, easy to make with the templates. Either, you know, you can have them cut out in acrylic or out of MDF, whichever way you prefer, or even plywood. But yeah, with the templates, it's definitely far easier to make them, replicate them, and make them, batch them out as many as you want. For example, for crafts shows, or basically for your woodworking store, and make some dollar on these. And now it's time to add a bit of finish to these. I'm going to be using food safe mineral oil to start with. I'm going to soak the boards in, and after that I'm going to wipe off the excess, let them sit in that oil for probably half an hour, and then I'm going to apply some wood oil and wax finish, obviously food safe as well, to them. And there you go, guys. I think they came out absolutely gorgeous, beautiful designs, and they just look absolutely stunning. Now, these are serving boards, okay? However, if you want to have a shape like this, or a shape like this as a chopping board or something like that, you just leave the middle in, okay? For me, I wanted to have some sort of a tray, something I can put some a piece of cake and a cup of coffee and just take it with me, you know, something for some fruits on top. And that's what I wanted in this case. However, you can have this really nice design as a chopping board if you wanted to. And as you can see, having a template is actually super helpful and will increase the speed in which you can actually make these. And obviously, as you've seen, it took me 3 minutes to make this template from acrylic with my laser, compared to this one that took probably about an hour's time. And obviously the acrylic one will definitely outlive the MDF version. I just wanted to show you the process of making a template like this one, or for example the one from acrylic, how it works and what you can actually expect, what type of quality. And I think we can agree that depending obviously on the design, if you've got the correct router, but you can really follow the tight corners on a template and have fantastic results. Now, I hope this video was interesting to you and maybe inspired you to make your own templates, make your own designs. However, if you want to use my designs, if you want to print them out and make your own templates, there's no problems with that. In the description of this video, I'm going to leave a link to SVG files so you can print these off, change the sizes to whatever liking you've got, so there's no problems with that. In the next month or 2 months, I'm going to be creating a lot more of these designs, and I'm going to be cutting them out on my laser from acrylic. These will be available on my Etsy store, i.e. the physical acrylic templates that you will be able to purchase. However, if you are my Patreon, if you support my channel through Patreon, the templates, the files for all the designs will be there for you for free, so you can print them off and make your own template. Also, if you are a Patreon of mine, you will have some discounts that I will provide for the purchases on my Etsy store as well. But that's probably about 2 months away. For now, I've got the free files for these two really cool designs for you to download right now. If you did enjoy today's video, drop me that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well if you haven't done so yet. But before you go, I've got some really cool playlists for you just over here. Plenty of interesting videos to watch, so click on those and maybe you'll find your next video to watch. Take care.